No One's Hero started in Pine Grove, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And just central PA, and we basically pretty much fanned out. Well, when we started playing, we were playing out of like the Unisound, a lot of the bands that came through there. Some of the early bands, like Conviction, Turmoil, some of those bands. It's hard to remember way back all the bands that we initially played with. I'm trying to think of all the Miser. I can't even remember all the bands that were from way back, like around the beginning. Sandman was pre-Weston. We played with them. Sledgehammer from Allentown. Starkweather, of course, from Philly, Edgewise. We got to play some shows with those guys. But yeah, ton of bands, great friends, great times. The one time Fisticuffs played with Anal Cunt up there, and it was a pretty slow show. There weren't a lot of people there, and I was working at Relapse at the time, and I had to get some artwork from the singer of Anal Cunt. For some reason, his name is escaping me right now. So he had to go in to get paid. And he went into the bar and he said, okay, yeah, we wanted our guarantee, whatever that was. And the guy was just like, well, we can't pay you everything because there's not a big turnout and I got bills and, that whole story, of course. And Seth was his name. He starts saying, okay, well, he's like, that's cool. I'll take whatever you have. And he gave him the money, whatever. And he goes, all right. He goes, yeah, let me get a case of that. And let me get a case of that. And he hands him these cases of beer. And I'm just standing there and he hands me one of the cases. And I'm like, all right. And then the guy's like, okay, well, that'll be like, $20 or something. He goes, yeah, fuck you. And he just turned around and walked out with the beer. I was like, oh, shit. So I was like, damn. So, yeah, I guess I got paid in cash and beer that night. So,
good old Vince.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All of our stuff pretty much came out on Motherbox Records from New York. We tried to get many labels interested in us. And, we played with Biohazard and Life of Agony, Agnostic Front, Sick of It All, Cro-Mags, Leeway, everyone. And, we just couldn't get any interest. I don't really know what the hell happened. It's just, I don't know what happened. I feel like we played all the right shows, and, I felt like we were strong enough and should have turned some heads. And, I think we turned some heads with the kids and, had a great following, but for some reason we just could not latch on to a label. It was, thinking back, bums me out, but at the same time, we had a great run, so.
It's a good time.
Sweet. So you definitely played all around PA and everything?
Yeah, we played some shows up at CC's. We played Bethlehem at the 4Gs. And then we actually played some shows up in Rhode Island, a lot of shows down in Maryland. We played in Manhattan a couple of times.
Violent Society to me was funny because being in No One's Hero, we were, definitely more hardcore, but I guess from the beginning, I just really loved punk. I love hardcore too, don't get me wrong. There's something about punk that it just I love that circle pit style, the mid-pace stuff, and I just, we started playing at Unisound, and I know one night this band comes out there called Violent Society, and I'm like, I don't know who these guys are. And we're standing there watching them. I was with Ray from No One's Hero, and we were just like loving it. Like, holy shit, like these fucking kids are on, just the fast punk, just loving every bit of it, And then, basically, I just kept following through with them and going to see them everywhere I could. We played with them at the Chameleon then at the JFA show, and I talked to Paul from Motherbox Records, and I was like, dude, you gotta put these guys out. Like, they're fucking amazing. And, they were getting a good crowd at the time everywhere they went, and, I just ended up becoming friends with them over time, and then, as No One's Hero started to slow down, basically we were practicing more than we were playing out, and the thing for me is I want to play out. I want to get on a stage, I want to have fun, I want to see people going nuts. And No One's Hero just kind of started fizzling out. We had a couple lineup changes that I think may have, slowed us down a little bit, it's the interest in playing out wasn't there as like it was in earlier times, and it was out of practice. The drummer Todd came in and said, "Oh man, you got to hear this flyer that Violent Society put up in my store." He was a manager of a music shop down in Philly, and he's like, "You got to read this flyer. It's hilarious. Like they're looking for a new bass player," and it was like describing what they wanted as a bass player. We're all laughing because it's just like, you must use a pick and no pussies and stuff like that. We're laughing our asses off, and I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, I should try out for these guys. So I did. I ended up trying out for them, and that was pretty much the Chris from No One's Hero, the singer. He found out, and I mean, he was pretty upset, and I wasn't trying to hurt anyone's feelings or anything, but I really just wanted to play out, so I actually didn't get into Violent Society when I first tried out. They went with another guy from Jersey, and that's when I started Fisticuffs. And then about a year later, a little less than a year later, they had asked me then, they said, this other guy just didn't work out and we wanted to join. So when I joined Violent Society, it was probably my favorite band at the time. I mean, I loved everything they were doing.
That shuffle?
I do.
I agree. I think they get lost in the shuffle, and I think it's a damn shame. There's some amazing shit come out of Pennsylvania. I mean, you hear all about that, the New York hardcore. I mean, No One's Hero. We used to joke around saying, like, if we were from New York, we'd be getting signed, and, and things like that, and it's just, I don't know. I mean, I started going to shows about 2 years before I joined No One's Hero. I was one of the founding members, but even then it was just a highway of bands coming through Pennsylvania all the time. I mean, I started out seeing The Exploited at Airport Music Hall, and then MDC at Oliver J's, Agnostic Front at Oliver J's, Youth of Today at Oliver J's, and then there was Wally's, it was Murphy's Law, Gorilla Biscuits, Uniform Choice, G.G. Allen, and it was just amazing. And it's like, this is what I want to do. And then I, started college down in Millersville, and met up with Tim, from the drummer of No One's Hero, and that's pretty much how it all started up. But yeah, I definitely think.
Yeah, I mean, the bands, the bands from other states used to love to come here and play. I can think of Integrity, the name one. They came, they played the show at the Chameleon, and they said that was the best show on their whole tour. And that was just an indicator to me, how much love everyone had around here for the entire scene. It's just a big brotherhood.
I think, I don't know, I don't think I agree with many people about it, but as far as I'm concerned, being in a hardcore punk band is all about letting out aggression, and I was always fine with it. I did not want to be in a band where people are standing around with their thumbs up their asses, just got their backpacks on and just fucking standing there like wallflower. I want people going freaking nuts. And you know what? A fight's gonna happen once in a while. So be it. I mean, that's all there is to it. Like, No One's Hero actually got pegged, just to set some records straight here. No One's Hero got pegged as a white power band because people liked us, and we had a really good following up there, but they also went freaking ape shit for us, which is awesome. You write a song and then you've got people just going fucking nuts for you. That's what it is to me. That's what I love. It's just all about aggression and seeing people go off. We were never a white power band. We played to skinheads because they beat the fuck out of each other when we were playing. Not that I was, not happy that they're beating each other up, but just the aggression was so awesome. And like, just feeding off of that was just, just being a witness to that was just amazing to me. And, I never understood, like, you'd go see, like, death metal bands, and a fight would break out and they'd stop playing a song, and I used to think, like, you're a death metal band, why are you stopping? Like, you should, I don't know, they're like the most aggressive music you can play and people are fighting and you stop? Like, what? Okay, yeah, I never got that. So yeah, I was always fine with it.
Remember the Allentown shows? I never really understood. There were all the all the white power skinheads there, and all they were doing is beating up on each other. They'd be claiming this white power stuff, and they're all just beating up white kids or kids that had their head shaved and weren't white power. And that last the last show, the Agnostic Front, Sick of It All, Sheer Terror, Life of Agony, No One's Hero show. I can remember I had a backstage pass because we rode up with No One's Hero to help them set up their equipment and stuff. And for most of the show, I was hiding behind one of the PA stacks with John Dudag, R.I.P.
Yep.
And we're just like, man, what the hell? What are we supposed to do? So
I mean, that definitely got out of hand. That totally was.
That was
crazy.
ridiculous. I think the dude from the singer from Vision was egging them on.
Yeah. What's 2 + 2? And then they put their hands up. It's 4, you fucking idiots. And I'm just staring like, oh, brother.
They're like, Kyle, where's Kyle? I don't see Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
What exactly set that last riot off?
I first of all think it was because it was the last show at Airport Music Hall. I think it was kind of pre-planned, like, hey, let's just go in there and fucking tear it up.
Yeah.
We played our set and there weren't any problems. Vision played, and of course he got them all riled up. Everybody was pissed then. Life of Agony, I can't even remember if they played. I think they played I don't remember if they were setting up or if they played like 1 or 2 songs, and it just erupted.
One of the dudes from, I think it was Strike Force or one of those guys, tore the barrier down with his bare hands. And it was just crazy.
Well, it was funny because on my way out, because I was just kind of like in the middle, like it just was all just going down. I think my jaw just hit the floor. I was like, what the fuck? Like everyone's just beating the fuck out of each other. So I'm walking out, and there's Paul Bearer from Sheer Terror at the what was left of the barricade, just standing there like this. And there's like 5 skinheads like, come on, we just want to see Sheer Terror. We just want to see Sheer Terror. And he's like, I get paid whether I play or not, you fucking idiots. He's like, you just ruined the fucking show,
And the guys from Wrecking Crew were pulling pipes out of the ceiling, coming back down to try to beat on people with it.
I had to get my buddy out of jail that night. He ended up in jail that night for fighting. But the funny thing about Airport Music Hall too, not just meant that riot, because there were huge fights there before. One time I remember, I can't remember what show it was, I think it was Killing Time and Sick of It All. They were prepared for a huge outburst at this show, and the next day in the paper, and there were a bunch of fights and everything, but the next day in the paper, the only people that were arrested were the bouncers. They'd arrested like 3 or 4 bouncers for just beating the shit out of kids for no reason at all. So it was pretty funny to just be like,
I remember the one show, I think it was like Sick of It All, Napalm Death, Biohazard. Pete from Sick of It All had enough, and he just took his guitar and started wailing on one dude.
Yep, that's crazy.
And we all got tear gas that night.
Yep. And even our local area now, like Lancaster, I feel it's a lot of it's very hot topic-y. So you got the big, huge buses lined up outside of the Chameleon, and it's like, who's playing? Some band I never heard of, but there's 1,000 people there. It's like, it's a
Fall Out Boy doing Gorilla Biscuits cover.
I think for me, it's funny because back when I was in college and kind of like the heyday of No One's Hero especially, I had become a bit of an elitist, I guess, just being in college and being around some of those kids, where I'm like, I'm into fucking punk rock and hardcore, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there was some metal that I still listen to. That's actually what got me into it, is, kept coming up from metal first, but then you talk to those kids, oh yeah, I like punk, I like Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Just don't even fucking talk to me. Shit like that. It was just, and I really kind of isolated myself, but I think, back then it was just this thing that, it kind of defined me, and I think now, all these years later, I don't go to as many shows, or, I don't have like a mohawk or anything, but, I think now it's just me. It really, it used to be this thing, a kind of a flag that, I carry, and now I don't need to carry the flag anymore because it's just me. It's not ever going to change. I'm 41 years old. That's all I listen to. It's just punk, hardcore, metal, and, a lot of people got into like the rockabilly stuff and things like that. I'm just like, no. Rap, no. It's just, I guess, biggest difference that I listen to now is once in a while I listen to some classic rock. That's
Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
For me, it's all just friends and memories. know, all that stuff's just embedded in my heart, you know. Bands I listened to in high school, junior high, I'll always listen to them, you know. And it's just something I keep close.
I think like what Justin was saying, just about the friends, you know, you learn so many life lessons, and you know, maybe people shake their head when you say that, but I mean, there's the lyrics and the heart and the, you know, the bonds. You know, I haven't seen Justin in probably 10 years or more, and he just jumped in the car and we started talking like we were hanging out all week. You know, that's the kind of friendships we have. I mean, my buddy Jason, we were just talking about the other day, it's like when we see people that we've seen at shows, you know, it's like I said, I was maybe a little bit elitist when I was in college, but you're still part of a group that, you know, hey, I know that guy, or maybe you don't even know that guy because you never talked to him, but you've seen him at so many shows. You know, you can walk up to him and be like, hey, how's it going? Just start shooting shit with them, and you know, they're like, oh, remember this? It always turns into remember this, remember that, you know, and it's all great times, great memories. But you know, I think it taught you a lot. It taught me a lot about friends. I mean, I can say personally, it did kind of isolate me, I think, because like a lot of people that I deal with, like at my job and stuff like that, they just don't understand, nor do I want them to understand, because this is mine, you know. It's for me, and it's for all those people, you know, that I can bump into, or I'll see, you know, how you used to be able to see people wearing Docs, you were like, oh yeah, give them a flyer.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like, well, no, that's completely gone. Well, it's a great guy. I mean, we went to the same high school, and man, he's just, you gotta love the guy. Airport Music Hall, you could always see Walt, whether it was Creator, Sick of It All, Agnostic Front, you know, it didn't matter. There's a huge pit, Walt was in it, and he was usually carrying someone. His nose was usually busted apart, and he's just carrying someone on his shoulder going around the pit. Like, he was so fucking funny. Oh man, he loved it. Great time.